So what we'll do, we'll just continue from yesterday's topic. So till now what we have discussed is, so let me draw here so that you will have an idea. First thing is, we have seen how to launch a web server. Now coming to the real time, we won't be having only single web server as part of your product. Let's say like companies like YouTube, Facebook, if they have to handle many customers, so definitely they need to have more number of web servers. So let's say they have more web servers. Okay. Like that, there will be hundreds and thousands of names. So that is the reason why you see each web server will have individual IPs. This is IP1, this is IP2, this is IP3. Since they cannot give for each and every customer different IPs, which creates a confusion for the customers, we have invented something called a single point of entry, which balances the load as well, which is called load balancer. So what is load balancer? What is its characteristics? How it works? The theoretical part and the practicals we have seen in the yesterday's class. Now, if you observe carefully, there is a small what is a disadvantage in this setup. Of course, having a load balancer is a good thing, but if you observe carefully, still you can improvise this architecture with the help of some extra component. So let me give you a real-time example. So what happened? Let's assume there are three web servers connected to your load balancer. So obviously the web content will be sending everything to google.com. Everything, whatever, whenever people hit google.com, so someone's request will come here, another person's request come here, another person will come here. So obviously every person will see the same web content, google.com, google.com. And what did we discuss? Load will be distributed like this equally. And request here, one request. Now listen carefully guys. Let's assume here the CPU percentage 99, here 99, here 99. So after some time people are still accessing, so many people are accessing such a way that this reach 100%, this also reach 100%, this also reach 100% CPU. So what happens now? The moment instance your web server CPU reaches 100% means,
The page will not load.
so all web servers will be eventually failed, crashed. So no matter, even though you are having a load balancer, your customers are unable to access your website. So what can be the solution here in this scenario? What do you think, guys? What can be the solution in this scenario? Right. So we need to have a scalability. Here we are having only the balancing of load and the single point of entry and routing the traffic to healthy server. These are the only characteristics of a load balancer. Load balancer won't take care about scaling. So then comes into the picture something called auto scaling. So what we have to do, we have to bring something into new called auto scaling, and that we have to attach to this load balancer. What this auto scaling will do, this auto scaling will launch extra servers and get it attached to the load balancer. Whenever in the existing web servers, if the CPU percentage is crosses 90%, immediately you will say to auto scaling, launch one server, and not only launching but also after launching get attached to the load balancer. Then only traffic will be distributed among the new servers. So this is the concept of auto scaling. So why auto scaling means for increasing or decreasing. Why load balancer means for distributing at the same point, single point of entry. Each component has its own characteristics. Guys. That is the reason why in real-time companies, this is the real-time scenario. It's a combination of auto scaling and load balancers. No matter whatever your website is, any company, if you are having a website, it has to be run with the architecture of a combination of load balancer and auto scaling, because you can't run alone with the auto scaling, at the same time you can't run alone with the load balancer. It should be a combination. Okay. Now let's discuss in detail what are the different options when it comes to auto scaling. Okay. So now it's fine, like um, the first technical word you need to remember when it comes to launch template. So what did we discuss? Yes, whenever if in the existing web servers, if the CPU reaches 90%, auto scaling will launch the mission. Fine. But what is the configuration of mission? Who will decide that? Whether the mission is T2.micro or T2.large, whether it's Linux or any CentOS or Ubuntu, what is the EBS volume, whether hard disk is 100 GB or 500 GB, what is the security group that needs to be attached to the mission, what is the name of the mission, what is
AWS will take care of this.
yes, what is the key, key pay. AWS will take care, but someone has to say to AWS, right? How can AWS know what is the configuration of your website mission? You have to say to the AWS one time in this auto scaling with the name called launch template. So what is launch template? It's nothing but the place where you define the configuration of the EC2 which is about to launch by the launch template. So in launch template you will decide what is the instance type. Same, the steps which we go through while launching instance, the same thing. Instance type, what else? Name of the mission, the means tag, and then security group, keypay, EBS. These all things we will be defining in the name of launch template. Second one is we need to have a load balancer. So what happens once it launches a new mission? Simply launching mission is not enough. Whatever the mission is getting launched, that mission automatically needs to get attached to the load balancer. Then only load balancer will send traffic to the new instance and the load will get balanced again between the missions. So that's why we need to create a load balancer and in this auto scaling, when we are defining the auto scaling, you will mention this load balancer. Okay. The final one is scaling. Let me this put scaling policies. So what is scaling policies? When you want to increase the number of EC2 missions, when you want to decrease the number of EC2 missions, these things. So you know this condition. So whenever my CPU is more than 80, I want to launch a mission. Whenever my CPU is less than 30 or less than 20, remove one mission. What is this called? This is called scaling policy. And also at any time, how many missions you want to be in your system, that also you can define. That means what is the minimum capacity of your product, what is the maximum. Let's say at any time I want 3 missions to be running. In case if the traffic is increasing, I can afford to launch 10 instances, 10 EC2. Why? Because as per my project budget, my manager also given in case if traffic is increasing, you keep the maximum limit as 10 EC2 missions. That means 10 web servers we can launch. Why? Because our project budget is that much only. We can't go more than that. But whether the customer's request is there or not, it doesn't matter. Always you have to run 3 web servers. These things we will define in a category called scaling policy. So what are the 3 things you need to remember, guys? If anyone asks you auto scaling means, you need to use these words: launch template, load balancer, scaling policy. With the help of these 3, if you combine these 3, then only you can achieve auto scaling. Okay? This is the complete theoretical part. Now let's do practical. Once you do practicals, you will have a clear idea.
Sir, what are the commands which we've given to make a web server? We also need to define.
Yeah, that also will define. That user in the step 3, your user data will be defining, right?
Okay.
While launching a mission in the step 3, that also will define. So now let me log into the console and then we'll deal with the practice. So today we are not whatever we are going to do in the real time, how we launch web servers, the same thing we are doing in today's class. That means in real time we never launch web servers manually. Everything is launched automatically. Let's say in middle of the night, load is suddenly increased. Will you wake up in the middle of the night, launch a new web server, attach it to the load balancer? You don't have that much time. Everything should be automated. That also with the help of AutoScaling. So what we'll do, first we will draw that setup, whatever we know first. What are the prerequisites we will submit it. So I'm having prepared notes, let me check once. I'm just seeing what are the prerequisites. Okay, we can use the same prepare. I think we have in the same prepare. As for the security group feature. Okay, fine. Let's check out security. So the first thing is launch template. So where it is launch template? So before that, what we'll do is just launch a load balancer and be ready. Maybe it will ask in this process. We can attach. Of course, it won't ask you. So create a load balancer. Since we are having only less number of instances, now let's go mine auto scaling ELB, so that we never get confused. Which because in real time communities also you might be using many load balancers. So give a proper naming convention. So since we are using it for website purpose, so let's attach the same thing, web server security. So what are the ports we have opened in the security group?
80 and 20.
22 and 8. This is for Linux. This is for HTTP. Next, configure health check. These things we have discussed already yesterday. Now, what happened is here? Are we adding any instances manually in today's class?
No, sir.
No. Auto scaling will launch new mission. Auto scaling only will add to this load balancer. So what I'm doing, I'm not adding anything manually here. I'm just creating a load balancer. That's it. Event here. Fine. Now let's go and define the configuration of a mission. So you will say to auto scaling, hey auto scaling, whenever whenever in my current missions, if the traffic is exceeding more than 90% the CPU, launch one mission immediately. But what is that mission? What is that configuration of mission? You have to say to the auto scaling. So what is the option where you define the configuration of a mission? We call it as
Templates.
launch template. You can give any name. I will say my auto scaling group launch template version. That means you can define anything, whether it's a development, production, or what your application in something Zomato, whatever you want, you can give. I will say simply text description. Next, where you are going to use this auto scaling, whether you are going to use manually or whether you are going to use it auto scaling.
Auto scale.
Auto scaling. Since we want to use this auto scaling, what they're saying, select this. If you intend to use this template with the EC2, auto scale this. I want to use this auto, that's why I will select this. Next. These things you know. Now what we are going to do, we are about to define the configuration of a mission. So let's say what is the OS of your mission. Fine, Linux. And what is the instance type? We want secret.micro, retail LGD. Next, prepare. So yes, AWS will definitely launch for you. Auto scaling will definitely launch for you. So what is the new mission? What is about to get launched? What is the key pair for it? Define before only. So already we are having. If you don't have, you just create it. If you forget it, if you deleted it, no problem. First, before defining the launch template, Just create a key pair and then you can complete. Here you have option C. In case if you don't have create key pair, what you will do simply you can go to EC2 create key pair, or here also you can create one. So straight away they're giving option here only. Create new pair. Simply do something key pair name and download it and you can give it. Refresh this one and then it will appear in the drop down. Since I'm already having my key pair, I'm just selecting this one only. So being said that whenever let's say you don't have a key pair, you forgot it. So no need to worry guys. You don't need to cancel this process in between. Go back again, create a new pair and come. Here only they're giving you option, right? So just create here only, refresh, automatically it will appear in the drop down. Got it? Next, network settings. Since still we did not discuss about this VPC and these things, so leave it about it. We just go with the default. So what is the security group? What is the security group? Right? We want to attach to the new mission web server security group, and you see volume. So by default, what is the volume of a Linux mission? Whenever you are launching Linux mission, it will have by default. You see,
8 GB.
8 GB. That's it. If you want, you can add volume. You see here, this one. We did not discuss about volumes. In the next class, we'll discuss about what are volumes, how many types are there, what are differences between it. Those things we'll discuss. But for now, it's okay. Let it. 8 GB is enough. If you want to give name, you can give name here, or else we can give the name in auto scaling also while defining what it is. So leave it as this. No need to give tags. Now, so what is the other thing we need to give? What is the one more thing we need to give while defining the configuration mechanism?
User data.
Right, user data. That's the most important thing. That's why I have drawn the last with a different color. These all are the default things. Of course, you won't forget it, but this one you will forget it. So never forget while practicing also, okay? Because it will be the last option. You might forget about it. Data. So what you will do? You can do save this. Now create one. Enter. Guys, in yesterday's class, I have showed you web content is in one mission web server 1, in another mission web server 2. But is that the case in real time? In real time, what happens? The web content is same in every mission. Everything will have the same thing, Google only, because people's traffic, customers' traffic is getting distributed. If you are seeing some iPhone mobile cost is something 72,000, I also should see iPhone cost is 72,000. You should not see 72 here. Here it should not be 70K like that. So that means the web content, the web content should be same on all the web servers. That is the reason why the configuration, the web content, everything will be same in all the hundreds or thousands of web servers, whatever you have connected to the load balancer. Just for our understanding, I wanted to show you how the load is getting distributed yesterday. Wantedly, I have given here web server 1 and 2. But in today's class, what is the web content? Everyone will see only my auto scale. Okay. So, so what are the things we have created? We have created launch template. We have created load template. Now finally, scaling policy. Let's go to the scaling. In the last, come to the last option. There you can find here auto scaling groups. So click that option. So here is it. Currently I don't have any. That's why create an auto scaling group. You can give anything. I will say demo auto scaling test. You can give any name. I have given like this. So you see, what is the prerequisite? If you observe carefully, whatever we have mentioned already, these are the prerequisites. That means you need to be ready with those values. Let's assume you forgot to create a launch template. You no need to worry. You're having option here or not. When you click on it, automatically it will
Yes.
redirect you to other page. So what I'm saying is, since I have experience, I am doing from a long time, I know what needs to be created before only. Before going to the auto scaling, it will ask me launch template. It will ask me the load button. I know before only. So I am ready with these things. Let's assume. Let's assume you are practicing. You have started with scaling policies. So what happened in the first step only? It will ask you what is the launch template. So you no need to worry. Don't feel you're doing a mistake. No one will remember the order. It comes with the experience. So what will you do? It's okay. Just click that option. There are giving you option, right? Create a launch template. Just click it. Automatically it will open in another tab. And you know how to create a launch template these things. Now you can, just create it and come back here and click this refresh. Yes. Refresh button and then automatically it will appear in the drop down. But, so have you already created or not our launch template?
Yes, sir.
We have created. So let's select that one. My auto scaling launch template. So these things are normal, default version, these things. And then next. Fine. So since we haven't discussed about VPC, let's keep it a default one only. So what is a subnet? Subnet means nothing but what is AZ?
Availability, sir.
Available. Actually, you see, this VPC, these subnets, these are complete concept of VPC. So for now, what you remember, subnet means nothing but an availability zone. So how many availability zones you are having in India region? I mean in Mumbai region,
3.
three. That can be Chennai, Delhi, and Hyderabad. We don't know, but somewhere it is having. So what it is asking, okay, Revan, I will launch. I will definitely launch your web server. Do you have any specification? Do you want me to launch only in Chennai? Do you want me to launch only in Delhi or in Hyderabad? Like this. So what did I selected? I have selected
All.
all the three. So can anyone let me know why I have selected all? Why I did not select only one availability zone?
Uh, Server gone.
Yes.
Sir, if we lost any data from one zone, we
Right.
can retrieve from the another zones.
Right. Right. So have we discussed this concept in our demo or not?
Yes, sir.
Even though if I lose my server in Chennai data center, even right? High availability. What is the meaning of high availability, guys? That means your website is running 24/7, 365 days without any downtime. This is called high availability. Have you ever seen Google or YouTube go down? I mean, I think it happened a few months back. But other than that, on a regular basis, like how government website used to go down, like that, will they go down?
Yes.
No. Very rarely, maybe for 5 years one time. That also just a matter of 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Thus, that means high availability is the utmost importance for these companies. So sometimes if you go to interviews, they might be asking you. So being a cloud engineer, how did you achieve high availability? High available architecture in your infrastructure, they will ask. So what is the answer? They are expecting a word called multi-AG. So then you say, I have implemented multi-AG architecture in my infrastructure such a way we have achieved high availability. So you see guys, these points, whichever I'm saying in between, whenever I use the word in real-time companies, in interviews, these are the keywords. So whenever you are practicing at your home, while going through the video, pause the video, make a note in your note. These things, whatever, whenever I use the word in real time, in interviews, in certification, just make a note of them and then continue practicing. Okay. So you understood this concept, right? Why I'm launching in all the three availability zones? Why not only in one? Because for achieving the high availability. multi-use. So it will launch missions. If it's auto-scaling, if it will launch missions and simply keep it in with itself, is there any use for us? Will the load will reach the new mission? How will the traffic will reach new mission? Through the load balancer. So definitely the first point of entry of traffic in an infrastructure is from load balancer. So whatever the mission is being launched by the auto scaling, what auto scaling needs to do after launching the mission, it should attach to the load balancer. Then only load will be balanced. Then only there is a use of these new missions. Otherwise there is no use. So what it is asking? Okay, whether you do you want to use any load balancer or not? If we want to use. Have you created or not any load balancer? Already.
Yes.
Yes. So it is attached to an existing load balancer. If you forgot to, let's say you forgot to create, what you will do? Attached to the new load balancer and here you will give the name. But since we have already created, you can go with it. Power is a classic load balancer. So if you check in the drop down, it will just see already we have created my auto scaling load balancer.
So what is the another option?
Which option?
So I choose from your load balancer have groups.
There are different load balancers, right? But we have chosen only classic that one. If we have chosen another load balancer, it will show here. Since we did not create any other load balancer, it won't show here. We have created classic load balance. Yes. And now health check option. So how much time you want? Now the health check is between the auto scaling and the load balancer. See, health check type for load balancer. EC2 auto scaling automatically replaces the instance that failed health check. Health check means what is that line I have highlighted? That means auto scaling group. If it is unable to find that index.html string, then it will replace the instances which are unhealthy with the healthy instances by launching a new mission. And what they're saying, if you enable load balancing, you can enable ELB health checks in addition to the EC2 health checks that are always enabled. Already in yesterday's class, we have discussed the health check between EC2 and ELB. What is this health check? This is between auto scaling and load balancing. So the amount of time. So what is the meaning of health check grace period? The amount of time until EC2 auto scaling performs the first health check on a new instances after they are put into service. What is the meaning of this line, guys? Whatever I have highlighted. What is the meaning of that? So what auto scaling will do? Auto scaling will launch a mission and attach to a load balance. So what is the amount of time until EC2 auto scaling performs the first health check on the new instance after they are put into service? That means this has been launched by the auto scaling and it got attached to the load balancer. Will the traffic send immediately by the load balancer after it got attached? No. It has to pass. First, it has to pass the health check on a new instance. Okay, whether that user data has been run correctly or not, whether the web server is working fine or not, whether it is healthy or not. Only after that, the load balancer will start sending traffic to the web server. That is called the health check grace period. That means the amount of time you are giving to the web server to get settled in. Okay, I have just came now only to the class. If I start to the class immediately, you can't take my knowledge, right? I have to give you some time. You have to take some rest, drink some water. Then after 5 minutes, if I start my class, then only you can concentrate on my class. Simply just now we came from outside running, and if you sit in front of me and I started class, you can't take it, right? I need to give you some time, some grace period. That is the same thing here. The amount of time given the auto scaling for the new mission for the first time health check, that is called health check grace period. So how can you decide this time depending upon the user data? So how many lines you have given? Hardly I think 3 or 4 lines. Yum install, HTTP, yum update. That's it. So how much time it will take? Maybe hardly it will take 30 seconds or 20 seconds. But it's okay. Maybe if it takes some more time, I have given 50 seconds is enough for the help. What is CloudWatch? This is also one of the web service. This is also part of our code. This deals with monitoring, right? So whenever CPU is more than 90, whenever CPU is less than 90, how will you know you will get that metric CPU percentage with the help of CloudWatch. So since we haven't discussed, leave it. In the coming classes, when we discuss about this CloudWatch, automatically you'll end it. These are optional things. If you observe carefully, they are optional, not compulsory. Even though if it give doesn't give, no problem. Yes. Now this is something scaling process we need to talk about. So what is this desired minimum maximum? These things you know already. We have discussed. No matter what is whether the customer's profit is coming or not, what your manager will say, we have to always have 3 web servers. And what your manager will say, since our project budget is only this many dollars per month, we cannot afford hundreds or thousands of machines. Our budget is we can afford 10 machines. So let's say at any time I want 3 machines, 3 web servers to be running. In case if traffic is increasing, if more persons are accessing my website, I can afford to launch extra till 10 servers. So what is desired capacity? Always remember guys, the blind rule is the value of desired capacity should be in between or equal to minimum and maximum. So what is the minimum of desired? See here only you can see your desired capacity must be within the limit range. What is the limit? This is the limit. Minimum and maximum is nothing but the limit. What is the desired? Next comes the question. Desired means now after launching auto scaling group, how many missions I want to start my business with, how many people I want to start my business with, how many systems is called desired capacity. So what did I say? I want to have minimum of any time always 3. That's why I need to give either 3 or I can give 4, 5, 6, like that I can give till 10. What are the values I cannot give here? I cannot give 1, 2, or I cannot give 11, 12, these things. So you can give any value in between these things, but you cannot give before this value or after this value. That is what they call. You can give your desired capacity must be within the limit range. That is called desired capacity. So let's say since we have agreed upon, we'll start our business with a number of 3 missions. So let's say 3. If you observe carefully, if I give 2, it will throw error. I will show you it. Let me see 2 and I will say next. See what it is saying error? The value must be between minimum and maximum. Yes, if you are having background noises, please don't admit it. Okay, even though if you don't answer the question, leave it. Next comes the scaling policy. So when you want to increase, the group, dynamically resize your auto scaling to meet the changes in demand. What is the changes in demand? CPU is increasing more than 80. From it reached 80, that means something has been changed dynamically in your machine. So that is called target tracking scaling policy. The technical name we call it as target tracking. So what you are tracking here? What is your target? CPU percentage. So your target tracking scaling policy. When you want to increase, when you want to decrease, how will you decrease? That is called target tracking scaling policy. So what did we discuss? When we want to increase our number of machines, you can give any name there. Yes, you can say anything. You can give raising. You can give target tracking policy or anything. CPU, or else you can leave it default also. What is the metric type? Whether you want to take the reference of network bytes coming in, network bytes coming out, or CPU utilization. Usually in real-time companies, what we use, we always take the reference of CPU percentage. We already discussed in demo class. What did we discuss? How can you say that so much load is coming on your machine with the help of CPU percentage? The CPU percentage is increasing like this. That means more number of customers traffic is coming. If the CPU percentage is somewhere down like this, okay, it's a nominal. Only less people are active. So what we have agreed, if the average CPU utilization is more than 18, we want to launch the machine. And then how much time you want the machine to be warm up? 70 seconds to warm up before including in the metric. So what will happen? Already you have given 50 seconds for the machine to get settled in. After that, what will happen, guys? So now what will happen? Already we are having one web server, another web server, and this auto scaling just now launched, third web server, and you have given 50 seconds to settle in. That grace period, okay, you just get settled. Just now you came to the class, so fine. After that, again I need to check, right? Okay, once this is healthy, traffic also will be sent to this machine also. Now what auto scaling will again it will track the average CPU utilization of the three machines. Again, if it is still more than 90, what auto scaling has to do? Again, it has to launch new mission, and again it has to attach to it. Again, it has to give 50 seconds. Again, it has to wait for the another 70 seconds. So that means, what do you mean by warm up period? Warm up means, you see, these athletics, these sports people, what they do before starting the game, they do warm up, right? Same is the thing. That means the amount of time you need to give to the instance till the next tick passes here. So what happens when how auto scaling will take decision whether I need to launch another mission or not first? It has to give the time to settle for the new server. Once the traffic has been distributed to this new server also, again the auto scaling will calculate the average CPU of the three missions. Again, if it is still more than 90, then only it will take decision whether you have to launch another web server or not. This time taken by the auto scaling to decide whether the new machine should be launched or not, or this is enough to decide to take that decision, that we call it as instances need. So what is the value? The blind rule is whatever you have given for health check. How much you have given? 50 seconds, right? So on top of that, just add some 20 seconds extra and you give 70 seconds. So I am giving 70 seconds, just 1 minute for my warm up period for my new machine before including in the auto scaling.
So what could be the minimum value for health?
That's what I said, right? That also depends upon the user data content, how much lines you are giving for the script to run. So definitely you have idea, right? For running three commands, maybe it will take 10 seconds or 20 seconds. If you have 100 lines, it will take maybe 2 minutes or 0.3 minutes. Accordingly, you will use that time. And what did we discuss, guys? Even in auto scaling, I mean in the demo also we discussed, but here also we discussed that this we have defined already, yes or no? This condition when you want to increase. But have we defined this condition till now?
No, sir.
No, we haven't. Discussed. No, we haven't discussed. So what is the thing? Earlier, I think 2 years back also, AWS we have to define manually same like this. If my CPU utilization is less than 20, I want to remove the machine. But what happened now? They have removed that option. That whenever my CPU is less than 20, that option they have removed of AWS people. So what they are doing now? They are taking that scaling down also for reference from this only. Whenever the CPU is more than 80, yes, auto scaling will launch the machine, no problem. But whenever AWS finds, auto scaling finds, if the CPU is not more than 80, what it will do automatically, it will only remove the machine. You don't need to define, it will only automatically remove it for you. So that if you don't want auto scaling to remove the machine, automatically whenever the CPU is not more than 80%, then you select this option. If you study that option, you will understand automatically. Notice this. What you are disabling in the scale in to create only a scale out policy. What are these words guys? Scale in and scale out means? Scale out means outside like this. That means you are increasing number of missions. So what is the other name for scale out? Horizontal type of scaling. Horizontal means you are increasing number of missions in horizontal way. That is called horizontal. So the other name for scaling or scale out is horizontal type of scaling. Scaling means what? Just now we discussed. If you want to reduce your number of missions, that we call it as scale in. So what they're saying, Revant, okay, whenever definitely CPU is more than 80, I will launch. So let's say currently I'm having 5 missions. So whenever auto scaling is performing average CPU utilization on existing 5 missions, if it found that average CPU utilization is only 70%, what it will do? Immediately it will remove one mission and it will keep four missions. So if you don't want to this mission to be removed by auto scaling by AWS automatically, you select this. So that what will happen, even though if the CPU percentage is average CPU like percentage is not more than 80, still 5 missions will be running. I will come and delete it manually if I want. If you want to come and delete manually, then you select this option. But if you want AWS to delete automatically if the CPU is not more than 80, you don't select this option. If you study this automatically, you'll understand this. Disable scaling means you are disabling the reduction of boxes. Why? Because you want to do the reduction manually. You don't want auto scaling to do the reduction automatically. So if you want, so usually in companies, if you want, you can select it, or else you don't, no need to select it. So if I select this, what is the meaning now? I have selected this. So what is the meaning of this option now?
You need to manually do.
Right. I will come and manually scale out, scale in. I will manually scale. That means I will remove the mission manually. And then notification. So what is this notification? So all this happening, right? Okay, Raven, your CP went more than 80. So that's why we are launching a new mission. Someone has to say, right, in the middle of the night, you have to get some email or some notifications on SMS. If auto scaling is unable to launch the mission for some technical reason, you need to get a notification. Raven, we have to launch the mission, but we are unable to launch. That means auto scale is unable to launch the server. That also you need to get notification. Who will give you this information? What is the service? Deals with notification, SMS. Simple notification service. This is also part of our course. Moving further, we will be discussing. It's a very simple one. Then you will understand automatically. So for now, it's not a compulsory thing. This is also optional. If you want to get notification, you will configure it. If you don't want to get notification, you can leave it as. But yes, we are going to discuss further. When we discuss SNS, then only you will understand what is, how can you configure notification. So leave it for now. Leave it. So tag. So what it is asking, I will launch new missions. So do you want me to give any name to the new missions which I am launching? So I am saying yes. All missions should be with the name of web server. You see here tag new mission. That means whatever the new missions are launched by the auto scaling, what is the name to the mission? It is asking if you want, you can give it. That is called, tags already. We discussed. So review. So how many steps you need to go through this if you have to configure auto scaling? In total, 7 steps. So if you observe carefully, some are optional values, not compulsory. But still we have discussed it. Why? Because we want to know each and every option, that's why we have discussed. Whatever the options are important in real time, everything we are discussing. What happens if you choose that option? So the final step is review. That means nothing technical. Whether whatever you have chosen is correct or not, just go through like cross checking. Okay, everything is. Let's create an auto scaling. Did we launch any missions, guys, in today's class? Did we launch any EC2 instances till now?
No, sir.
No. But now, we are about to launch, but not manually, with the help of auto scaling. See what it is currently, how many instances are there? Zero. But what is happening now? The status is updating capacity. So what is the capacity? What is our desired capacity? 3. So now if you give some 5 minutes time, this will change to 3. This also will change to. Here you can check all the configuration, whatever you have to minimum 3, maximum 10, what are the available zones you can do, everything you can see. Just refresh, see. So how many instance launch automate till now automate now? 2.
True.
Still it will give one more time, some more time, it will launch one more also, 3 will come automatically. So how can you know what is happening at any time? You can check here. You can select this. You can see all the details. Whatever you have selected by launching auto scaling, you can see all the details here. What is the launch template? What is the minimum, maximum? All these things you can see here. Load balancer. Similarly, what is happening in auto scaling? When instance is launched, when instance is not launched. If you want to check what is happening, you can see in activity. You see? You can do 3 missions. So we want to launch to 3 missions. So what is happening one by one? So it has launched. Launching in EC2 instance. Similarly, so you are upgrading capacity. So whenever you are launching it will show what is happening. So already 2 missions have launched. So 2 to 3 like see automatically 3. So if you observe carefully in the left side, you can see somewhere failed, somewhere successful. So what is failed? The reason is also given here. That means when you created auto scaling, the first itself is something has failed. What has failed? Just study that and let me know guys what you understand with that explanation. Whatever I have highlighted, why something is failed. It's a very easy thing, nothing technical. If you study, you will understand automatically.
Okay. Sir, the instance I which we selected for a particular zone that is not supported by that zone.
Right.
So
That means, let's say in Chennai data center, there is a no instance type of T2.micro. It's not available. Maybe so many people have already reserved that, or maybe it is really not available in their data center. So what it said, it has been failed to launch. So that doesn't mean your website is lost. What happened again? So it will try to launch in another available region. Now it will launch in 1A or 1B. Similarly, finally again it started, again it tried to launch one more time in 1C. So what happened again? It got failed. Why? Because T2.micro is not available or not supported in that available region. So again what it will do auto scaling. Why? Because we said no matter I want 3 instances at any time. So what auto scaling will try? Okay, let me try to launch first of all in different availability zones. If it is not possible to me to distribute among the different availability zones, at least I will try to launch in the same availability zone. Ultimately, you want 3 instances, right? So what happened? Finally, it has launched from 2 to 10. So that's why you see here 3 instances. If you want, you can come and check this. See how many machines are there now? 3. Okay. So how can you check now whether the web server is working fine or not? Just check any one. If one is working fine, that means automatically other also will working. Why? Because the configuration is same for any machine. So that means you have launched your web servers at a time, at a span of 3 immediately. That also automatically. So either you, so but what you will give to the customers? Will you give IPs? What will you give to the customers? TN. You always give the static things to that, not dynamic things like IP value. The same. What did we do then? Did we attach to the load balancer manually today? What did we thought? Auto scaling only will automatically attach to the load balancer. So did we check or not till now whether it got attached or not? See? I did not attach anything like yesterday. They only came and attached to my load balancer and they only set the health status. All are in service. So this is the advantage of the combination here. Auto scaling is also required Load balancer is also required. Why? Because this is having its own characteristics. This is having its own characteristics. If your website has to run 24 by 7, 365 days, what you have to do? You have to combine this combination. Then only auto scaling will launch new missions. Load balancer will distribute the traffic. Both are required. So if you want, you can just plug it up. You can copy the DNS of this load balancer and you can. Now, no matter how many times I refresh, you will see the same web content. Why? What is the reason?
Index file is same.
Right. It's the index. What did we discuss? Same. That example. If you open Flipkart, if the iPhone price is showing for you 70,000, for me also it should show 70,000. It should not show for you 75, for me 70. That means the web content should be same in everything. Same data should be there. Now, what is another thing I need to prove for you? What did I say? AWS will always make sure 3 instances are there, no matter what can be the reason. So how can I prove it? I cannot increase the traffic. In real time, you will get traffic. It might cross CPU will cross 80, then it will launch new mission. But here I can't increase the CPU.
So if the user wants the 10 machines, I need to do it manually. Don't need to do any auto scaling.
That manual means that also you don't need to do one by one. You know that in step 3, you'll just simply give number of instances 10. Manually,
Yes, that's right. And sir, minimum should be auto scaling is 3. I missed that part. Minimum 3 and maximum 10. That is by default or
no,
that
depends upon your business budget, project budget. So let's say if it's a MNC, so your client is able to launch, give you so much budget, allocated $50,000 per month. So you can spend it lavishly. You can launch 10 minimum web server, even though your PC utilization is 20. Why to launch unnecessary 20? Why? Because simply you're having more money. So, but if you go to some like middle companies and startup companies, so they are very strict with the budget. So your project manager will say, "Rayon, our product is still new in the market. We are not expecting this much traffic. So ideally, maybe 2 or 3 missions will be enough. So let's start with 2, 3 missions. If the traffic is increasing, just keep the maximum as 10. Like it depends on the project. Nothing technical there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Auto scaling load balancing will be also delete. No, this we have to delete manually. Auto scaling and this load balance. Yes, yes, instance will be deleted automatically. Obviously, that is the whole point, right? So, how you can delete the instances? Who has launched the instance? Auto scaling. So, if you delete auto scaling, automatic instance also gets deleted. That is how you delete the instances which has launched in with the help of auto scaling. You can't delete instances manually. Even though if you delete it, they keeps on getting launched. That's why we have to delete auto scaling. If you have to delete instance.
Yeah, within one question.
Yeah.
So we have defined the answers if the city utilization is greater than 80%.
Right.
So that in which instance this check is happening, does this check is happening for all instances?
It's the average. That's why if you observe that name is average. Average CPU. Average means all.
Like,
Redund load balancer also auto scaling only created.
No, load balancer we have created manually, right? And we have attached it while defining auto scaling. The auto scaling, if you observe carefully, if you remember, in the auto scaling, I have said you don't attach to the load balancer. It did not got attached.
Yeah.
Guys, who is this PDF? So I think yesterday also, you see, where some of the classes is required PDF, there I am providing. Let's take the example of load balancer. So there is nothing technical there. You can go to the recorded videos and just make a note of those points. But whereas if you while launching a web server, those comments you need. That's why I have provided notes. So wherever the classes, whatever the classes require notes, then definitely I'm giving you the PDF. But whatever the classes where we have discussed mostly practically, That things you just go through the video while recording, you just make the point. There is no specific notes for it. Okay, guys, then have a nice day. We'll meet you tomorrow.
Revant, one last doubt.
Yeah.
So in today's session, right? So we have discussed about in auto scaling policies. We discussed about CPU. Similarly, we have networking and network out. So do we need to add this as well in case those are also required as a part of auto scaling group?
No. You can give only one tracking policy. That means you're giving reference to the auto scaling, because auto scaling don't know when increase, when decrease. You have to say if CPU is more, increase. If network coming inside bytes is more than this many bytes, increase. If networking going outside is this many. So what is the reference you have given? Depending upon your project. So what is the basic thing you always discuss? Web server means you calculate the load on a web server with the help of CPU. So we have given CPU. If you have any specific about network in, network out, as per your business, you can give that also. It's not a compulsory thing that you always have to give CPU. But what is happening in real time, we are sticking with that part. In real time means we stick with only CPU. Why? Because you can't rely on the network in and network out bytes. That is not always tagging network in and network out.